All right, so welcome back, a return, a debut on ZASLOW Show 2.0. Everybody, all the old cast of characters, everybody's re-debuting on ZASLOW Show 2.0. And so we bring aboard Fred Segal here. For those of you guys who have listened to, whichever iteration of ZASLOW Show, Fred Segal is the founder of Freezing Cold Takes at Old Takes Exposed. But Fred Segal is also a childhood friend of mine. All right, we grew up together, and your Twitter account now is up to how many followers?
It's something like 610,000 or something like that.
So when I started bringing you on, I mean, I don't know, maybe at a couple hundred. Like it was really at the very beginning. I'm like, let's do like a regular thing. Now I'm not saying that you coming on my show got you all those followers, but way early on when you started this account, I'm like, this is a fun thing to do. What do you remember? Like, what was the one interview you did, or maybe someone retweeted you, which kind of got everyone's attention to your account? Is there like a moment?
There's two. Well, the biggest thing which you did was at the very beginning of the account. I started it and I had like 50 followers, and I told you about it. And then our friend Ben Zasenko, I told him about it, and he was very close. He was working for the mayor of Sacramento at the time. He was living there, Kevin Johnson, and they were trying to, keep the Kings in Sacramento. And he was very close with the radio guy Carmichael Dave there. So it was you guys both mentioning me on the show when I first started. And this was before you started having me on every week. But that put me at like from 50 to like 500. Okay. And then eventually it started to snowball into like 1,000. And I think the first person who mentioned me who was like a national guy or someone who had a big following, I don't know if he was national, but he was big following, was Michael Kay on New York radio.
Yeah, the Yankees.
And he mentioned me. And yeah, at that time I didn't know what was going on when I would get up a lot of followers. And he mentioned me on the show, and then they had Sports Illustrated an interview with me, and I think like getting up to like 2,000 followers after that was like when Sports Illustrated noticed me, like 2 months into or 3 months into me having the feed, and then when that article came out, it was mentioned by Sports Illustrated on Twitter all like 5 times, and then that got me up to like 10,000 followers. So that was really the big thing. It was in February of 2016. And I think at that point in time, that's when we started doing the weekly thing. But to have someone mention the feed right away when it was nothing, that's what really sparked it into something where like it was visible to some people, and that's when it starts at the beginning. It's like someone getting like an actor getting their first break on a TV show, a small role, and then they get another medium role and a big role, now, something like that.
When you started it, like, did you start it as just a gag, or were you hoping that it was? I mean, you definitely never thought it was going to get to 600,000, but did you start it as a gag and just have some fun, or did you start it saying, I think this is something that may grow a little bit?
No, I started completely as a gag. I did well. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it anything like that because I was doing something else at the time, and I also was I had other feeds. Messing with people on Twitter. I had a spelling check feed. So I got suspended for doing a spell check feed. I mean, that's just with Twitter. Like this was like in 2012-ish or something. I mean, I was doing a retweet of somebody, a spell check, like quote tweet type thing, which was different then, and I got suspended for a week for doing a quote tweet that didn't really have anything to do with it was like a judgment call by them. It was just because I was suspended for trolling, basically. I mean, that's how Twitter was back then.
A spell check feed. And what was one of the other feeds? If you had a spell check feed, what else?
I had I had a guy who didn't get sarcasm. These were all on this Old Takes Exposed feed too. So like I've been doing it for a long time. I started Old Takes Exposed or Freezing Cold Takes in November 2015, and the account is listed for like June 2010. Okay. So that's how long I've had this other account doing other stuff. The spell check one, I did one making fun of one of my friends. I did a parody of him. There was a lot of different accounts on that thing before the freezing cold takes. I was going to do one with facts, and I'm still considering doing it now, like just facts, but no context in the facts.
So, for example,
yeah. So, for example, Justin Fields throws a ball, and it's a great pass, and the player drops it, and the ball goes up in the air, and then some guy picks six. I'll just say Justin Fields throws another pick six. That's it. That's the fact.
I feel like it's funny, but I feel like Norm Macdonald used to do something like that.
Well, Norm Macdonald was even more than that. He would just do like Andy Kaufman read The Great Gatsby on one of his tours. Norm Kaufman would just announce the golf match.
That's right.
Long drive by Tiger Woods. Jordan Spieth hits it into the
Now, of course,
this
Fred,
is like facts without context, piss people off.
Right.
Piss people off.
Now, of course, Fred has the book, Old Takes Exposed. It came out a few months ago. It's NFL based. All right. It's out wherever you can get your books. I got my copy. I love it. Are you considering the next one, which obviously would be more than just NFL?
Yeah. I've already started like outlining and researching for an NBA one. Now I need to get someone to publish it. Hopefully, the publishers that I use now would do it. But it's a long game with books. I mean, you got to wait like a certain amount of time they don't judge a book until like 6 months after it's released. And I mean, unless you're like some famous person who gets on the New York Times bestseller list, no matter what the book says. I mean, like, so that's what I would do. I think I've been researching it. An NBA one would be the next one if someone wants to do it.
What has been you've been everywhere at this point, NFL Network, Dan Patrick Show, Sarah Spain did the podcast with you. What has been your favorite appearance over these last few years?
Well, I mean, I like when I went on to Good Morning Football. This was like 5 years ago. I did Good Morning Football to promote the book, but it was on a Zoom. But I mean, one time I went into the studio and like sat with them and did the thing, and that was fun. I think I did that twice actually. That was really fun because it was in person. And I mean, I like doing Dan Patrick, but that was a Zoom. Mm-hmm. But it was good because he did all of his Dan Patrick interview questions in the way he does it, which is you've been watching Dan Patrick so long, he always finds a way to ask you a question you weren't expecting. So,
do you remember what the question was that he asked you that you weren't expecting?
Well, he asked me a lot of questions about, who is somebody who. Now, tell me, who is somebody who doesn't actually do it for entertainment value, like someone on TV, like because we were talking about like Skip Bayless and or Stephen A. Smith, and that they're balancing an opinion. I mean, I guess as much as they can. I mean, balancing opinion with entertainment. So that really flows in the way. And I said, I'm right away. I was like, Mike Francesa. Mike Francesa is the one guy who he's dead serious every time. He doesn't have any caring about like the entertainment value. That he says what he thinks, but it sounds like he's a Bayless type when he says it.
So I wanted to have Fred on today. Fred Segal, again, he's a childhood friend of mine. Old Takes Exposed, freezing cold takes. And I wanted to have you on because now is a really good time to do this where you're a lifelong Dolphin fan. You grew up, I think your family was a season ticket holder, right? I have that correct? All right. So you're a lifelong Dolphins fan.
Yeah. I used to go to every game in the Marino era.
Yes. So you're a lifelong Dolphins fan, just like I am. And now finally, we got a franchise quarterback. Like that conversation's over. All right. Tua, he's the guy. The team is really good. And you got to have some great old takes exposed regarding Tua, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And well, Tua is a very, very, very provocative topic from day one. I mean, he came out of Alabama and he's just this type of guy who people still don't believe that he's that good. And it's because we live in this like internet society or like this world now where it's so reductive to like one play or one type of thing that people do. They show a highlight of Mahomes doing like some crazy thing, and Tua can't do that. He's kind of like he doesn't look like a supermodel, but he does everything right. Now, the best thing about Tua is the fact that he has the quick release and the great timing. And everybody just sees like a pass that looks like it's underthrown, or he doesn't have the great arm, and it's just that no one understands why. So right now, there's still things going on where people are doubting Tua. But in the past, it was even worse when the team wasn't winning. And so I think there's a lot of people on the internet, especially Dolphins fans on Twitter, who are just going crazy with these. I can't do that with my account as much because I'm not a Tua account, not a Dolphins account. So I have to do more, just like one or two each time. But these people are going nuts. But I found like 5 of my favorites from Tua,
Okay.
dating back to 2000. One was from June of 2020. Okay. This was before Tua even played a game with Dolphins. And headline goes like this: which quarterback is more talented, Jarrett Stidham or Tua Tagovailoa? Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes.
Chris Sims is going with the Patriots signal caller. Now, Chris Sims is a known Tua hater.
Yes.
And Chris Sims and Mike Florio together are like tag team Tua bashers, but also tag team Taysom Hill lovers. They still defend Taysom Hill. They love Taysom Hill. And then one time, Chris Sims said, idiots think that Tua is better than Taysom Hill.
Idiots.
And that was in December of last year. And then, idiots. And then 2 weeks later, he went on to defend that because everyone was giving him crap about it. And Chris Sims said his arm's better than Tua. He's a better athlete. He's bigger. And he's every bit as accurate. I mean, every bit.
Wow. So those two,
really
both
accurate.
Jarrett Stidham, who is amounted to nothing, and it's not even like, oh, he's okay. He's amounted to nothing. And Taysom Hill, who's totally just a gadget guy. So, all right.
Yeah.
So those are two good ones.
Not as accurate. There's no way. Before the 2021 season, Cowherd's one of these guys who still is not sold on Tua.
Right. I feel like it depends what day you catch Cowherd, whether or not he's in or not.
But he was in on him before he started playing Tua. Before when he was drafted, but before he was started playing, like after he was drafted by the Dolphins. And then he's turned completely, and he still is not sold, even after like this week. Before the 2021 season, this was after Tua's first season, Joy was on Colin's show. She was sitting at that booth thing, and she was asking him about guys, like players, this player or Tua. Okay, so Tua or Baker Mayfield, and he picked Mayfield. And this is Colin hated Mayfield. Hated Mayfield. He's criticized Mayfield more than anybody.
Yep.
Tua or Carson Wentz. He picked Wentz. Wentz is a much bigger athlete, bigger, stronger, faster. And then she asked Tua or Trevor Lawrence. Now this is right after Lawrence was drafted, but before he played. Not close. Trevor's a generational prospect. There's nothing he doesn't do better than Tua. And then she had dared to ask him about Sam Darnold. He goes, come on, Sam Darnold. Sam's a playmaker. Tua is not.
I can understand.
On to say about Sam Darnold have a great season.
Now, I can understand the Trevor Lawrence one, of course. But, like, between you and me, it's pretty damn possible Tua is going to be better than Trevor Lawrence, right?
Well, yeah. Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, there was a free pass on him for a long time. There probably still is kind of a pass on him, but especially last year, dumpster fire that he was playing with.
Yeah.
But this year, he still hasn't. I don't think he's shown people that I don't think he's proven to people that he's going to be great.
Yeah.
I think people are willing to wait, but I don't think he's proven to people he's going to be great. I think Tua performed much better than he did in the past 2 years in many of the games that he played, and but people didn't give him any credit for it. Tua gets no credit. He still gets the barbs about the receivers and everything.
Yep.
And so that's the thing. And then it comes down to Tua with Tyreek. Now, there was a whole new batch of Tua bashing when Tyreek signed with the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, because he was going from Mahomes to Tua, and there was all these memes coming out. Like one meme, the PointsBet sportsbook. These sportsbooks love memes because they want to get engagement to them. They did the meme that said, it was in June of 2022. It said Tyreek after one game with Tua, and then in the meme it was the video of Antonio Brown running out of the Jets stadium with his shirt off, waving to everybody bye. The last time he ever stepped on a field, Antonio Brown. That was the picture that went along with it.
It's funny because that trade has been a great trade for both teams. I mean, you look at the Dolphins, they got Tyreek Hill. You look at the Chiefs, they're still awesome, and they get all the draft picks.
Right. And the Tua and Tyreek Hill's been worth the pick. It's just like that's what we've been established guys who are worth the pick. Yep. And Pete Prisco of CBS Sports, or Hill won't make Tua good either. And then the last one was Sean Payton, and this was after. He
was on Colin Cowherd's show, I believe, right?
Maybe. I don't know if he was on Tower. Yeah, he could have been on Tower show. This was after week 1.
Okay.
Where the Dolphins beat the Patriots, who was pretty good. And he did certainly enough for the win. And he said, I think at some point we'll see Tua benched in Miami. And they played well in the game against the Patriots with Tua, but Teddy Bridgewater I've had before. He's an outstanding player.
Tua 7-0 in games that he has started and finished this year, and might be the leading candidate for MVP.
Well, if you look at MVP, like you take the player who, and if you're thinking about valuable, like you take the player who, if they get hurt, you're just like, you say, oh my God. And now I can say this right now because it's Jazzo 2.0 and not the radio. You're so fucked. Like you're so fucked. Like the team's fucked. Like the valuable players.
We saw it happen.
Josh Allen gets hurt, and Buffalo fans are just like, well, fuck, it's over. If the Dolphins, the Tua got hurt, we'd just be like, that's it.
Yep. And we saw it. I mean, they lost all 3 games. We actually saw it. They don't lose when Tua finishes a game, and they always lose when he doesn't. We actually saw it.
The only stress with the big stress with Tua is that we score too fast. It's like it's like by the time it's the third quarter, you think like we're killing them, and it's like the other day, like when they got the ball back, the Browns, and it was like 21-6 or 24-6, and it was like it's only 24-6. It's 10 minutes left in the third. It's like Dolphins are scoring so fast.
What a time, man! What a time to be a Dolphin fan. Are you excited? Are you super pumped?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think. I mean, it's crazy that we're in this division, but I do look at the schedule, and we have a big stretch coming, especially a road stretch.
Yeah, it's hard coming up.
And so we got to win these games, and games like the Lions and the Bears game were tough, and the defense it's coming to its own this week a little bit, but it was suspect the previous 2 weeks. I was really pissed about Fields, and he's a great runner, but no quarterback should ever run for that many yards.
Yep.
I mean, you got to let him throw. It's unbelievable. You can't let him run for that many yards.
Fred, tell everyone again, obviously, about the count, and tell everyone how they can get the book.
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at Old Takes Exposed on Twitter and Freezing Cold Takes on Instagram and Facebook. And please, if you're an NFL fan and you love my book, it's just a lot of freezing cold takes, but in story form, mostly narrative form. And there's a lot of different facts and historic tidbits that you wouldn't know about players and coaches from past NFL history. You get it at Amazon.com, or you can go to my link, my pinned tweet on my Twitter account. It's right there. Freezing Cold Takes NFL is the name of the book, and it's everybody who's gotten it has told me. Not everybody who's gotten it has told me, but everyone who's told me about it said they loved it. And it's a great gift if you want to get for your parents or your loved ones for the holidays too.
Have any media personalities recently blocked you or unblocked you?
Yeah, well, I had a guy. I don't remember the guy's name, but he had a guy yesterday who blocked me, and he said, well, he told me I called my account lame or whatever. I wasn't even going to use his tweet. I didn't know what it said. A lot of times, someone will tag me to something and make me maximize it to see what it says. Scroll up, and I can't see it because the person blocked me, and that's the first time I knew they blocked me. So
can you imagine still at this point, you've been doing this account for so long. Can you imagine there's still people at this point who are sour about it, who aren't in on the joke? Like those people still exist.
Yeah, a lot of them. They take themselves. Well, I think some of these people take themselves very seriously.
Yeah.
Well, and they feel as if like they're doing a lot of hard work covering the team, doing stuff, and you're just trashing them for one specific take. And I think that's what they get. But these people get more pushback from a hot take when they make it than when it's wrong after it ends. I mean, like when you make a hot take on Twitter, everyone's going after you because it's the perfect time because they don't know if it's going to be right or wrong. You say you're going to be wrong, like the morons who get really mad because you pick their team to lose a game. Like, why are you get mad about it? It's going to happen. You're going to find out. Don't get mad that you pick them to lose. Who cares?
Fred,
not like a judgment call of who's better or who's not. Fred, not arguable.
Excellent call, man. Excellent job out of you here. Real good stuff on Tua. And love having you back on the program, man. I appreciate
you. Anytime. Good luck with ZASLOW 2.0. Love it.